Baby, you're the best thing move. Baby, you're the best thing smoke. Baby, you're the best thing that ever happened to me. Baby, you're my good thing now. You gon' be my good thing forever. Baby, you're the best thing that ever happened to me. To me, you are.
Hey everyone, welcome to Pretty Girl Loves Trap Content. This is my recap / review for Raising Kanan, episode 7, Stay in Your Lane. I always think of LeVar Ball when I hear Stay in Your Lane. He was like famous for that. Anywho, I hope you guys having a great day. So the episode starts off with Rock. She's at the hospital, coming out the hospital looking fly. I'm like, dang girl, you got all dressed up for the hospital. So, she meets her bodyguard, which I'm glad to see. She is thinking smart, having a little bodyguard. We haven't seen him before. So I'm glad we're being introduced to some, protection. God, dog, I'm just saying, they really be moving all loosey-goosey with them being at war and whatnot. But, they're driving off and she calls Lou and, he says he's here. He's at a payphone. So apparently he is on a stakeout and he's actually staking out Unique's homeboy who is walking down the street with his girl all lovey-dovey and just off guard. And I'm like, y'all at war. If it was me and I was at war and I'm in the drug business, y'all not going to see me. I'm not going to be caught slipping. I'm taking extra precautions, but nobody is doing that at this point. So we see Kanan. He's in front of this restaurant pacing, looking all nervous. So I'm like, what's going on here? And then we see Unique's homeboy and he's pleasing his woman, as, I'm going to lightly put. And we see Lou creeping up and he pretty much just guns blazing while, they're in the middle of their business. And so he has this, Tech 9 machine gun and he just blasting bullets is flying everywhere. And oh boy proceeds to get away. I'm like, what's going on here? So we see him running in the middle of the street with a robe. And I'm like, okay, he had time to put on the robe, but he's just running for his life. And I'm like, where's Lulu? Why he not running after him? But Unique's homeboy, it just looks like a straight square. He doesn't look like a thug or a gangster at all. He just got one of those clean faces, he don't do crimes. But that's neither here nor there. That's going to definitely bite Lulu behind, because how you supposed to be a hitter and you can't shoot? What's going on here? So we see Raquel. She meets Kanan at this little lovely restaurant. And, she's updating him about Scrappy. He's alive. He's just missing the eye patch and he's missing a kidney. So he's going to be looking like, Slick Rick up in here. Hopefully he have an eye patch. And we're going to have to see what's going on with Scrappy. He's going to pretty much be useless at this point. I don't know a lot about kidney loss or having one less kidney. But I do know, there's a lot of side effects that come with that. So I don't know what else he can do at this point. If they can find an administrative task for him in the drug business, I guess I don't know. And we also see Marvin and, Operation Gas Station. And it looks like it's running smoothly. It's looking profitable. It's nighttime. So they're serving the white people coming up to the gas station. So, it looks like it's working at this point. So back at the fancy smancy restaurant, in Rock, she's in this cute little cobalt blue, little mini dress with her little leopard print, little, crop, not really a fur coat, but girl, yeah, she was doing it. She was looking very nice. And she is, walking in with Kanan. And they're talking about Davina, and lo and behold, Davina is at the table. And I'm like, what are we doing here? No, she is the ops. Why are we having dinner? But Kanan, he's so head over heels at this point. He ain't thinking clearly. So, of course, I'm thinking this is a little 3-person dinner. So he proceeds to tell Rock, I know you're not big on surprises, but... And then in walks Shamar Moore, a.k.a. Symphony. And, of course, she ain't having it. So she walks off and be all dramatic. And he goes behind her. And he said, hey, I would never keep secrets from you. I, love me some Hall & Oates. So, I've never told anybody that. So, therefore, you should know I'm an open book at this point. So eventually, his little charming ways wowed her back in, and they proceed to have a cute little double date. And, Symphony is complimenting Rock, and therefore Kanan, he's taking, hints from him. So, he's, learning about, how to compliment a woman. So he's, learning from Symphony as well. And, complimenting Davina, and they're holding hands. And it was a cute little dinner. They proceed to go outside, and they're having this little joking back and forth. And it was very cute. Like, Rock was smiling and laughing, and it was good to see because we barely see her smiling and laughing. And they were just having a very light family moment. And, she was like, I'll take you guys home, because she was like, Kanan, like, I'm not trying to be a young grandmother up in here, okay? So I'm going to need you to watch yourself. But I really feel like this was a mistake on so many levels, because I feel like Kanan letting Davina in more into his situation is going to blow up, okay? Because now she knows Rock. She knows Rock has a boyfriend. And I do predict that she will actually have another meeting with Unique. He's going to either approach her, or she's going to approach him. And she's going to probably tell Unique about Rock and Symphony. And that may be a weakness at this point, because, he's going to try to hurt Rock. And I feel like she may do it through Symphony. I do recall them posting some pictures about season 2 and Symphony and Rock together with Kanan. I'm not sure if it was a ploy or not, or if Symphony would die. I don't know, but I feel like Symphony is not a cop, but he's just simply a good guy that's going to get caught up some type of way. So we see Juke and Nick. They're walking down the street, and they're talking about this little dance that they're trying to go to and what they're going to wear. And then Juke finally, she says the G word. She calls Nicole her girlfriend. So we got a cute little confirmation here, which is a little cute. And we also see Kanan and Davina in front of Davina's house, and they're making out or whatever outside on the porch, or on the steps, I should say. And she stopped Sam, and she was like, wait, I heard Famous's song and all these references to Buck 20, like, what's up? And Kanan again, horribly just, tries to convince her, no, it's just rap. He's not about that life. She's like, but you about that life. So what's going on? D-Wiz is whack, caught up in this. He was your friend. Like, she really feels that Kanan is involved, and she just wants the truth. And the longer and longer he lies about it, the worse and worse it's going to get. And she pretty much says, hey, I'll see you in school. So at this point, she is not feeling Kanan, and I feel like their little love story is done. She's still not over Buck 20. I think the song, gave her kind of a little bit of PSTD, because, she was still probably processing Buck 20's death, even though her and Kanan are kind of together now. She's still kind of hurt about that situation, and probably also hurt that he is lying to her. So that further kind of lets me know, like, she's going to get to the bottom of this, and it's not going to be over and done with. And now we're seeing Rock and Symphony, and they're getting it in, just trying to get, reacquainted, with the clothes off or whatnot. And she decides, to express to Symphony, like, hey, I'm not about to be about this life for too long. I got some things I got to set up. I don't plan on, dealing drugs the rest of my life. I'm just going to need some time to get, things in order, so I can just be collecting checks and just sitting pretty. And, meanwhile, we can, think about having babies and whatnot. And I'm like, Rock, interesting. This is, it's cute to know that, her plan in life, and that this is not something that she wants to do forever, because this is the first time that we're hearing this from her. But I do feel like she needs to, slow it down. But I just really think she realizes, hey, Symphony is a good guy, and I want to take this further. But I do feel like her kind of revealing her ultimate plan, it's kind of going to be pretty much some foreshadowing that either she's going to die or something's going to happen, because we all know, Power Book 3 is also Get Rich or Die Trying, the miniseries / the autobiography of 50 Cent, aka Curtis Jackson. So I do feel like Rock is going to die, but I'm not sure when. I mean, she's such a great part of the show and a big part of this show. So I don't know how they would do it, when they would do it. I'm thinking if they do it, it may be a few years down the line. I don't know. I don't want her to go, but this particular scene is really showing me like, hey, she's probably not going to get out squeaky clean like she plans, because when we plan, God laughs. And, this whole planning, trying to get out the game is not very likely. So Rock, Lulu, and Marvin, again, having a family little meeting, and they're discussing, the updates of their situation. And they mentioned that Unique has a little operation at a gas station by the Van Wyck. So, of course, Marvin's like, looking around like, they can't know it's me. So he's like, I ain't never heard nothing like that. So he playing dumb. Of course, that's going to bite him in the behind. And then they're also kind of ragging on Lou a little bit about missing his shot with Unique's homeboy. I think his name is Morel or whatever. A lame little name. But so yeah, Rock is not having it. She says, hey, she got another connect lined up. Lulu, you going to come with me to meet up with him, which is the lady, the bodega owner's wife, her cousin. So, yeah, Lulu, he's not happy about that. He just want to do his music. But of course, he has to tag along at this point. So we see Jukebox. She's in the dressing room trying on dresses, and she's actually looking cute, but we know that is just not her personality. Oh, Lord, not Natalie. Personality. But, you can see she's trying. She's trying to look good and dress up for her date with the Nicole for the little dance. But, she is definitely not feeling these little frilly, girly dresses. But again, she looks cute in them, but it's not her at all. So now we see Kanan. He pressing Famous hard at the pizza shop. Like, yo, Davina heard the song. Like, what was up? Like, now she mad at me. And Famous is like, just tell her, hey, I'm an artiste, okay? I draw inspiration from certain places. It's not my fault. Just blame it on me. And he was like, man, that's not gonna work. He was like, man, people do it all the time, man. Eazy-E do it. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're bringing Eazy-E up in here and whatnot. It was kind of funny, but, they ended up, joking and laughing it off. But I do feel like it's going to come a situation where Famous is going to open his mouth where he doesn't need to. And their friendship is either going to just drift away or Famous is going to just die. It's going to be one of the two. I feel like he's going to die, blow up, or him and Kanan just not ever with each other no more. And that all three may happen, actually. Who knows? Now, next on when cooking goes wrong. So we're in this little spot, this little cook spot with Marvin's little flunkies. And Kanan, goes in trying to get a little update of the whole Operation Gas Station. So they say, hey, our product is stepped on because, they don't have no connect. So they're running short. So they trying to, stretch whatever they have. So one of the dudes is like, hey, my homie from East New York got this little type of product here, which may be like fentanyl or something a little extra. And Kanan was like, all right, cool, let's go ahead, but I'm cooking. And, the homeboys were a little resistant, like, nah, we gonna wait till Marvin get back. We under his orders. And Kanan was like, look here, okay? This is my idea. The whole, candy bar situation, the whole gas station situation by the Van Wyck. I am the inventor of all of this. So technically, you guys are working for me. Do you know who the F I am? And the guys were like, you could tell it was, not really feeling it. But at the end of the day, he's a part of the family who, employs them. So they reluctantly, let him cook. And apparently he didn't have no measuring cups or nothing, because they commented how he put a little too much of the extra oomph in the batch. And, they cutting up and everything. But I'm like, hey, you done cooked like one time at your mammy's house. Like, who do you think you are? Like, you can't just go from like an in-home chef or a cook to being a chef at a 5-star restaurant. Like, you gotta slow your roll. Like, how do you think that this was capable? Like, you only had one goddamn training session. Like, what's up? He is just over zealous. Like Kanan, oh my God, he remind me so much of Tariq. Like Jesus, no wonder they bonded, because he just be effing up like majorly. Like it's crazy that we're seeing this dumb behind Kanan. So Raquel goes to the bodega to meet Juliana because she has the address that she's supposed to be meeting her cousin up, which is possibly the new connect, okay? Because we are desperate out here in these streets. So they share this wonderful scene together. Mind you, Juliana, her face has no bruises. Like, it's clear as day, and she's talking a lot. And, you know, when Raquel comes into the bodega, she was like, where's Gabriel? And she was like, he's with his puta, which is his, his bitch, and, most likely his side chick. And I'm like, oh, he's a cheater and a woman beater? Like, girl, are you serious right now? You've been dealing with all of this. Do you guys have kids? Like, I hope not. Like, she seems like she's a lot younger than Gabriel too. Like, this is a whole hot mess. But she tells Rock, hey, you say you picked me because you knew who my cousin was. Therefore, you picked this to be the stash house. Well, I picked you too because you are a woman, okay? And you know how these men's is be doing us. And I was strategic with my plans too. And so, she mentioned like, hey, I'll be fine with if Gabriel never comes back. And so Rock was like, hey, if ever I can help you, I will, because you are helping me. So, of course, I swear within the next 1.5 episodes, Gabriel need to be dead. I'm like, for real. You can tell Juliana is over it. She got her little confidence. She getting a little mojo. Like, I'm so excited to see these women link up, because I feel like Juliana may be a good fit for season 2, because she may, be on her Queen of the South-ish. Like, she may be, a big baller in the future. Like, I can really see her running things. So I'm definitely happy about this. So on this episode of Maury, Detective Omar Epps approaches Kanan at his house while he's outside talking to Davina. And, he has him on a little loudspeaker like, Kanan Stark, may I talk to you, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I'm being dramatic. But, Juke, she ain't with the cops. So, Kanan realized he has a little vial of crack that they cooked up, earlier that day. So, he sneakily handed to Jukebox, and she goes on her merry way. And of course, Omar Epps is asking him, well, how you been? And have you asked Rock about me? And Kanan was like, I ain't trying to hear all that. So he's just hinting. I'm like, just tell the boy you his pappy, for God's sake. Like, God, putting us through all this drama and stress and whatnot. And, he was like, please just ask your mom about me. I'm like, you might as well just say it. But I think he's trying to let Rock do it. But if you trying to have a donor, you need to go ahead and just tell the boy. So when he get back in the car, Officer Burke, his partner, was like, what is you and this kid? Like, what's going on? He was like, the children are our future, Burke. Like, that's why I'm interested, But of course, I know she's going to pick up on it. And she is pretty much probably going to find out that this is his son some way along the situation. So it's all going to tie in, especially if she and Jukebox get into something. Because I feel like she may be an out for Juke for some reason. If Juke get in trouble, I don't know. It's going to be a whole hot mess, y'all. And I'm going to love seeing it unfold. So, Marvin's flunkies handing out testers reminded me of The Wire, where they're just handing out freebies of the little, concoction that Kanan cooked up. And they calling it Mo Better Blues. It has like a little blue cap. It was cute little name and whatnot. So 2 of the crackheads go into the building to smoke it, and they end up overdosing and dying. And I'm like, oh, Lord Jesus, this is going to be a hot mess. So we see Jukebox and Nicole, they're at the park, and Nicole's asking like, hey, I want to see how your dress looks. Please tell me. Juke was like, no. And so they see a little pretzel stand. And so, Nicole asked, like, hey, we should go ahead and get one. But she was like, I shouldn't. So Juke, being the good, stud that she is, she go ahead and go get her girl a pretzel. Meanwhile, I believe Jukebox gave her a tape before then, a cute little, cassette tape with her, Nicole's name on it. So Nicole was putting a little note into Jukebox's book bag while she was at the pretzel stand. Juke is not seeing none of this, mind you. And then she notices the little crack that Kanan gave Juke when Officer Omar Epps approached him. So she takes the little crack vial and puts it, in her pocket or whatever. And a small, like maybe 8%, was like, well, maybe she thinks that this is Juke's new hustle, because right before then, Juke was like, well, I'm done boosting, I'm done stealing. So I was partially like, well, maybe she's taking it because she doesn't want Juke selling drugs. So she thought this would be a good way for her not to do it. But the 92% of my mind was like, oh, Lord, she is going to smoke this. Lord Jesus. Whatever. I was disappointed in Nicole at that moment. So Marvin and his flunky picks up Kanan at his house, seemingly pissed off, y'all. So they take a little field trip to this crack house, and there's like maybe 7 to 10 dead crackheads in the house who pretty much died from their little testers. So Marvin is pissed, like, what happened? So of course his flunky is telling all the business, like, yo, it's Kanan's fault. And Kanan was like, we gotta tell somebody. Like, Marvin was like, hell no, we ain't telling nobody. Rock will kill us. We need to shut down Van Wyck, shut down everything. Nobody needs to know about this. This is just gonna be a secret, y'all, because this is crazy. Like, if we were serving the white people in Van Wyck these same testers, like, it's gonna be a problem, because when white people start dying, is an issue. Cops don't really care about us dying, but when the whiteys start dying, yeah, they're gonna be on our tail. So of course, that's going to be a problem. So we are at this boxing match, and Rock is meeting up with the possible new connect, Joaquin or whatever, who is Juliana's cousin. And he was like, hey, Juliana, she vouched for you. Like, her intuition is pretty spot on. I don't prove her husband or whatnot, her choices of men, but she got that A1 intuition. And so meanwhile, Lulu and, the Connect's right-hand man, they're behind them. And the Connect just started singing The Streets Got a Body, need a body. The actual hook. He was like, hey, I was at the showcase. My brother works for the Latin department of BMG, the record company. And, Lulu, he just felt all love. He was so excited. You could just tell his little glee in his heart about that. So, not only the black people are feeling this song, but other races too. So I feel for nothing, we're going to hear this song probably on the radio soon, which may not be the best because they are snitching on the whole situation. Okay, this is going to be another Tekashi 6ix9ine situation, another Bobby Shmurda situation, where people just putting way too many of their businesses on the records. This is not going to be good if this song blows up. So Lulu rolls up at the family diner. Well, not the family diner, like they own it, but the place that they frequent to eat. And so he, have his little hood on, trying to be incognito. And, he had a little sandwich pickup, because he was a little hungry. So he about to pay. And so Unique and his homeboy come behind him. Now we got this. So, they try to pay for it. So it was a little awkward. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just shot up your homeboy who was behind me. Well, not shot up, but tried to shoot up. And, so Unique was like, yo, let's have a little sit down. So Unique tries to so-called recruit, Lulu, which I don't understand his angle, because Lulu is too loyal for that. He is not a Scrappy. Even Scrappy was loyal. So I don't understand what Unique was trying to do, but he was definitely trying to egg, Lulu on, like, hey, you loyal with somebody we need on our team. And Lulu was like, it was just one problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't F with BS Negroes. You know what I'm saying? And this scene was so lovely. I mean, I just love Unique. I love Lulu. This was a great scene. And Lulu pretty much low-key admitted that, hey, he was the one who shot up the, homeboy's, apartment or his girlfriend's apartment, what have you. And I was trying to look in that scene and see if he shot up the girlfriend. I think he probably would have been dead if the girlfriend been shot. I don't know where she was because we didn't see her. We didn't see no bodies moving. All those bullets. Who knows? So, yeah, y'all, like, that was awkward. But Unique, he was pretty much saying, like, yo, I'm apologizing now for what is going to happen in the future. So we are at war officially, okay? Even though we kind of been at war for the past few episodes. But, yeah, it's going to be nothing but gunfire from here on out. Bodies are going to drop at an alarming rate. And I know it. It's going to be a body probably for the next 3 episodes, y'all. So we see Jukebox. She actually is at Kanan's house getting ready because she didn't want Marvin to be all nosy and whatnot, which is the reason why they met up at Kanan's house earlier when Detective Pappy, aka Omar Epps, was approaching Kanan. So she has on this cute little fitted suit. You know what I'm saying? She's doing, I believe, a little Michael Jackson choreography. Shout out to Jocelyn Hernandez. She couldn't really pronounce choreograph. So Rock, she kind of walks in on her, and it was a little awkward, and Jukebox was scared because she got on this suit, looking, kind of studdish and whatnot. And, Rock is kind of asking her questions, and she's like, who you're going with? And she says, Nicole. And, Rock was like, I'm not Marvin Jr. You know what I'm saying? I'm not judgmental. I'm not like that. And she probably already know, when you're older, you can kind of see, things. So, she was very accepting of Jukebox low-key kind of coming out, y'all. It was cute. I just love their relationship. I just wish we saw Rock and Jukebox together more often because she needs that motherly figure. Side note, apparently LaToya Luckett is set to play Jukebox's mother in season 2, and I am excited about that. LaToya Luckett, I'm a fan of hers, especially her acting as well, because she had some hit songs like Torn and Between the Two. She had some little cuts back then, but she does the bitch role very well, and apparently she is playing this Bible thumping former HOE. So this will be interesting. I didn't think that they were going to explore Jukebox mother in this series, but this is definitely surprising news, and I'm looking forward. I think LaToya would be a good fit for this show aesthetically, and she does know how to act. So I am excited about that. So yeah, Jukebox is getting ready to go to the dance. So we see Nicole, in the mirror. She looks beautiful with her white dress. Her hair is all in a bun. I believe she have like some nice pearl, accessories. And she just looks very beautiful and looking in a mirror. And she was looking like Cinderella going to the ball, which let me know something weird is going to happen. Her mom comes in and says, hey, we don't really condone sex, but I understand if things happen. I just don't want you to get pregnant. But I'm like, excuse me, hold on. So hold up now. When her and Jukebox was making out, it was a hot mess. It was a so-called issue. But now, since it's a white guy, things happen. Oh, okay, Karen, we got your number. And of course, Nicole wasn't feeling that either. She was like, dang, really, you okay with me having sex? So the dad comes in and, just to check on the situation. And he was like, what's going on here? And she was like, well, mom's soliciting me to have sex. And he's like, what's going on? Like, really? So, they leave the room while she continues to get ready. So she is stressed out. Nicole is just overwhelmed. She's frustrated. She's going through this internal struggle because her parents, and I feel like mainly her mom, is not allowing her to be her true self. I think her dad is either just naive or just blind. Like, I don't know what his deal is. I feel like, of course, Nicole's mom is aware of, or has been aware of her sexuality before Jukebox, but hid it from the dad possibly. Because he seemed very ignorant to the whole situation. But yeah, I could tell there's so much inner turmoil in Nicole. So to calm herself down, she remembers that, hey, Jukebox made a little tape for her. So she listened to it on her Walkman. Oh, it was so good to see a Walkman, y'all. So she listens to the tape and it's Jukebox singing this little love song to her. And she decides to go and smoke the crack, y'all. She decides to smoke the blue cap, aka Mo Better Blues. And she ends up seemingly dying, okay? Yeah, like she, had this euphoric look like, hey, I'm on cloud 9, and she just drops and thumps on the ground, and you can kind of hear her mom's voice like, hey, Nicole, what's going on? What's all that noise? So yeah, it was pretty like sad and depressing, but I just felt that eerie feeling as soon as I saw her in the mirror with that nice dress looking beautiful. I was like, oh, this is going to be some poetic ass stuff that's going on here. Meanwhile, we see Jukebox across the street from the dance, their little meetup spot. And she's seeing all the, dressed up white people in this nice little venue going inside with the limos. And so as each limo comes up, she's seeing like, oh, is this Nicole? No, it's not Nicole. Oh, is this Nicole? No, it's not Nicole. So she's like patiently waiting. It's getting cold. She's waiting and waiting. And before she knew it, everybody's inside, that was congregating outside. And she, realized, hey, this thing started already. What's going on? So Kanan at home on the couch watching Arsenio Hall, and he's like looking at the little blue top, cap tester rocks that they actually he concoct. And I'm like, Kanan, first of all, why you got that in your house? Second of all, Marvin says shut everything down. So that means all evidence, you little young rascal. You don't know what's going on and what to do. And so you can see like Rock in the other room, and he looked like he was contemplating telling her about everything. But when she comes in the room, he kind of hides it. And I feel like he stuck it in between the couches and the cushions. So I'm like, that may come up to bite him. Someone may discover it. Rock, maybe Jukebox, somebody, who knows. I just feel like every action on Power is for a reason. But she pretty much comes up all happy. She was like, I saw Symphony and, we talked it out and we good and whatnot. And, she was like, yeah, I noticed you tried to pay for dinner. We was on a little double date. And, yeah, where'd you get the money to possibly pay for that? He was like, oh, just working here and there, saving up. So she didn't believe him. Of course, he couldn't lie, good enough. And that's, I guess, one of the flaws with Kanan. He's not a good liar. Like, he's not very believable. That is the only difference I noticed right now between him and Tariq. Well, there's a couple other differences, but Tariq was a much better liar, I would say, than Kanan. So he was like, to get off the heat off him, he was like, yeah, that cop came by and he was, telling me, ask you a question if you got a surprise for me. So Rock, she got all defensive, was like, what did he say? No, don't believe him. Don't believe him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? And so, he was like, all right. I won't say nothing. All right, cool. But he was kind of looking at her like, I don't trust you right now, Ma. So Kanan may actually go to Howard and, try to get the answers on his own. I don't know, but I definitely feel like he will find out that he is his pappy, y'all. But yeah, y'all, that was pretty much the end of the episode, of course. Nicole didn't show up to meet Jukebox, so, you could tell on her face she was very disappointed. But yeah, on the next episode, it looks like Nicole, we did get confirmation that she died because we see her picture on a little easel, in the frame, which normally, that happens for a wake or a funeral. And of course the war with Unique, that's going to get real heated. And I'm excited, y'all. Like, this was a really good episode as always. I'm excited, and I'm like really on pins and needles for the next few more episodes until the end of the season. But again, thank you guys for listening. You have a great day. Bye.